U.S. agency reports record high North Atlantic Ocean temperature. According to preliminary statistics from the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the North Atlantic Ocean reached its warmest temperature ever this week, surpassing the previous record earlier than it typically does each year. This occurrence comes after the Mediterranean region reached a new record high. Additionally, according to scientific assessments, July is on track to be the warmest month ever recorded, intensifying the already oppressive heat from global warming that will affect millions of people throughout the world. A scientist at NOAA's National Centers for Environmental Information named Xungang Yin said, "Based on our analysis, the record high average sea surface temperature in the North Atlantic Ocean is 24.9 degrees Celsius, or 76.8 Fahrenheit, was recorded on Wednesday, according to AFP. Considering that the North Atlantic generally reaches its highest temperature in early September, the early date of this record-breaking occurrence is extremely concerning. The previous record high, according to Yin, was 24.89 degrees Celsius in September 2022. It will take roughly 2 weeks for NOAA, which has been monitoring sea temperatures since the early 1980s, to confirm the preliminary findings. In the midst of a record-breaking heat wave in Europe, Spanish researchers reported Monday that the Mediterranean Sea reached its highest temperature on record. The Spanish Institute of Marine Sciences, which examined data from satellites used by the Copernicus European Earth Monitoring Program, declared the record temperature of 28.71 degrees Celsius. Because it is less prone to severe temperature surges in solitary sections of the sea, those experts claimed they measure the daily median sea surface temperature rather than the average. The Mediterranean region, which had record-breaking heat in July, has long been considered a climate change hotspot. A new Atlantic record is probably in the works. According to NOAA, the sea surface temperature in the North Atlantic is expected to continue to increase through the month of August, and it is highly likely that another record will be broken. More than 1 degree warmer than a 30-year climatological normal, calculated from 1982 to 2011, he continued, referring to the new high temperature of 24.9 degrees Celsius. Temperatures have usually been warmer than in prior years since March, which is the month when the North Atlantic starts to warm up after winter, with the difference becoming more evident in recent weeks. Due to the consequences of climate change brought on by greenhouse gas emissions, the North Atlantic has evolved into a symbol of observation for the global warming of saltwater. The NOAA differentiated Copernicus program informed AFP on Friday that it had seen a temperature of 24.7 Celsius on Wednesday in the North Atlantic. While that was below the program's September 2022 record and slightly below the NOAA level of 24.81 Celsius, a Copernicus spokesman claimed the record was certain to be beaten this summer. At this point, days are all that separate U.S. extreme circumstance. According to Karina von Schuckmann of the Mercator Ocean International Research Center, this situation is extreme. We've seen maritime heat waves before, but this is very persistent and spread out over a large surface area in the North Atlantic. 90% of the extra heat generated by human activities since the beginning of the industrial age has been absorbed by the oceans, the expert added. According to her, this accumulation of energy doubled over the last 2 decades, causing global warming. Since April, the average ocean temperature has routinely surpassed seasonal heat records on a global scale. A concrete, stunning example may be seen in Florida, where waters off the Sunshine State's shore on Monday reached a temperature that is more typically associated with a hot tub, 38.3 degrees Celsius. The reading might set a world record if verified.